Welcome in the episode number 3 in Kardamom and Chile. I am one of your hosts, Vera, holistic business photographer, and
I'm Heike. I am a branding coach, which means I combine coaching with branding expertise.
I hope you get to know us even better and you will stay with us till episode 1,144.
Oh, God. You know that we will be ancient by then?
Yeah. Well,
okay, when we're still doing it. Oh, welcome to Kardamom and Chile.
Shaky voices, but still energetic. Back to the business, dear. Back to the business. Magic follows emotion.
Yeah. That's a beautiful sentence I heard in a movie, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I watched The School of Good and Evil on Netflix. And there was this teacher who actually said that magic follows emotion. And I immediately had to text it to Vera because what she does is magical. She has the magic. She often mentions it in her posts as well. She can make people pose in front of the camera who actually hate their photos. So I really wanted to share this because magic follows emotion is all that we do.
That's why I'm bringing it out, because it resonated with me when you sent it and it got me excited.
Yeah.
And it got me like, ooh, I like it. Ooh, the sort of not logical response to that. And I was like, let's talk about that. That's a good one.
What does it mean for you?
Magic follows emotion.
Yeah, what is behind that for you?
To me, everything, as you said rightly, what we do is magic. Photography, in my eyes, you could get anything and take photographs. You don't need equipment. Equipment is a tool. It helps, and it makes your life easier if you know how to use it. But to create something, you need your soul, you need your brain, you need your eyes, and you need magic.
Yes.
And that is the whole philosophy behind what I do. It's actually magic, which I was laughing and saying that is also acronym of make a first good impression or something. Can't remember. I was making up from the first words. I can't remember now. But the truth is, if you allow your intuition and your knowledge gathered together, then you've got the product which is beyond logic.
Yes.
And it speaks to people on this beautiful, unique, magical level of emotions. And you tap into the emotions. Because you were mentioned that before, aren't you? That we do in business actually sell, talk, create, tap to the emotions.
Yes, it is. We are big bags of emotion. It is just like that. Even the men, and we're getting there. And everything that we do, every decision that we make is based on emotion in some way. One thing someone said to me, and I can't remember who it was, that you put in everything that we create as creatives, we put a piece of our soul into it. Now, going back in time to when photography first started, people were scared because they thought their souls would be captured and they would lose their souls. So what is your take on this?
I still think that they do. I still think that they do believe. Majority of them, they do believe that it's so dangerous that they can't really pose or they can't do it or whatever. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's, you actually answer my overdue question, why people struggle to get on the front of camera. Maybe that's ancient belief that I'm stealing the soul.
Yeah, maybe it's our genes.
But again, joking aside, there is something about it. Well, I believe that actually I'm giving people soul back.
Yes.
If you take photographs with the intention of making it work for a subject, to show the best version of them, to help them to be more confident, create better version of themselves, to visualize what they inside are, but they not see it yet. And then they've got a proof. They've got visual proof that they are this person. I'm helping them. I'm showing them the parts of the lost parts of themselves.
So you basically elevate the soul, the pieces of the soul that someone has lost along the way.
You could say that. You could look at it that way, because you would be aware about it as well. You start creating brand, and that is your imagination. And it's solely based of your dream, of your idea, of you something which is not, there's a really vague. And you need really put a lot of energy and attention to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have no proof, especially if you are innovator, especially if what you came up with is really out of this world. It wasn't done before, or something new.
So when you're a real entrepreneur who comes up with a new product that hasn't been there before in this way.
Yeah, exactly. So then if that person gonna find someone who will listen to them and help them to anchor that, to create that feeling like they own it, it's becoming more real.
Yeah.
Because now you've got actual physical proof. I don't know, you feeling confident, you giving this beautiful energy from the photographs. And you can tell when you see people's photographs everywhere on the LinkedIn. And I'm talking about professional photography, but not only. If that was done in the true connection with themselves or not.
Yeah.
Because you feel it. You're drawn to them.
Yeah.
You trust them. It depends what they do. So now they've got a proof, and they can say, hey, it's happening. That's me. Look, I'm doing it. So it's easier.
The magic follows emotions is really very powerful, especially when you think about it on a deeper level.
What does it mean to you? Because you were getting in charge and asking questions, and I can go and talk about photography and emotions forever. Because
and now
why
you're
not?
Firing it back at me, and you know exactly that I can go on. How much time do you have, dear listeners?
Yes, but I think it's. I would love to hear your take on it.
Well, for me, it's everything in my life, in my business life. It's everything in branding, because branding is emotions.
Mm-hmm.
As we said in the first episode, that you could check in with yourself how something makes you feel when you look at brands you love and brands you hate. Mm-hmm. It is all down to emotions. People buy because of emotions. When someone doesn't feel right, we are not getting into action. When something feels amazing, we are the first ones who jump into, their cars and go to the seaside. We are the first ones who do stuff, who inspire others and energize others, even as an introvert. And it's emotions lead us every day. And the magic in there lies in how we use them. When you have negative emotions, everyone knows this. Like, I don't want to get out of bed. It's a shitty day. We know that there is this thing of getting out of the bed on the wrong foot, as mentioned, the red traffic lights and all these things. And this usually carries with us. So there's no magic that can follow that emotion. When you set up yourself in the right way, which we all can do, it just takes practice, sometimes years of practice, we can easily establish something that gives us the power, the energy, the joy, the happiness to move on. We want to do things. We want to achieve something. We want to be successful in business because then we can buy this beautiful house at the beach and can move there or have a holiday home there. And then every weekend, you can grab your family and your dog and maybe your tortoise or turtle and drive up there and have a swim in the sea. This is the emotion that powers what you do. You have your own reasons for everything that you do. And when it's a good emotion, it gives us this drive and the energy and the excitement and the inspiration to go ahead and do things.
That's beautiful.
And that's where the magic then follows, because then all of a sudden you have the most magical sunset. You have the most magical time with your family. The most magical client all of a sudden comes through your door and sits down and says, "Hey, I want to work with you. You're the perfect person for me." And that's the magic that follows the emotions. And that can be put into something visual. As Vera said, with the headshots, I'm living proof of that. And for me, with the branding, there is so much power behind it when you use these tools to express the emotions. That's one of the things you need to do. Dream big and then make it happen.
So, another question. What is the latest or the biggest magic you experienced recently following emotion?
Oh, wow. Well, the biggest magic that has happened to me is actually when I came back from, not literally, but when I came back from the dead, because my former business model didn't work out. I had hit my upper ceiling limit or my upper limit, my limiting beliefs, whatever you want to call it. I had a very toxic person in my life who triggered stuff from my past, which then caused me to even spiral down deeper into my past, into the ways I didn't want to be. And so I had quite some very, very, very rough month. And I had to reorganize everything, restructure everything. I had to come to terms with myself and really face things which, quite frankly, were very difficult to face. And I hid behind my limiting beliefs. I did something that was soul crushing for me because I had to bring me over the winter. I had to take on a job in a corporate environment, which I thought would be kind of nice because it was one of my favorite toy companies where I was a huge fan of. And then I saw the behind the scenes stuff, which crushed my soul even more and my beliefs. And I grew up with this stuff. My grandma had the very first toys of that company. And, you know, there was a whole world coming down, crashing down. And all of a sudden, I found the strength. I found knowledge. I had people who helped me. One of the main contributors was actually Vera. And I remember at the end of December, I decided, or my soul decided, this is where we are going, period. Conscious mind, you're listening now. You have to shut up. This is where we are going now. And then I had a call with Vera, and within 5 minutes, I had decided what to do. And I was so anxious to do it. I was so scared to use my own name as a personal brand, because there was also quite a lot of limiting beliefs attached to that. And within another 5 minutes, I had my logo. I was never able to do my own stuff. For others, I don't have problems. I did Can I tell this about what we're doing?
Sure, you can.
Within, I think it was, and Vera doesn't know this actually, I think it was 3 minutes that I had created the logo for Vera's new project that she's working on. And it just is like, bam, and there it is. And I could never do this for myself. And then when my soul had then decided to take over, I had my logo, I had my name, I had my website I built within 3 days. And all of a sudden it was like, what's happening? And this was one of the most empowering things because I submitted to what I really want to do, what I was born to do, to my purpose, which I put aside pretty much all my life. I was always pushed into the position of a leader, of a mentor, of a coach, of a team leader, of a manager. And it was like, no, I'm a shitty person. I can't do this, this wonderful belief system. Mm-hmm. And my soul kind of set an ultimatum. So I submitted to it. And ever since, I relaunched, I rebranded, I did everything with my business. Within the first 2 weeks, I had my first 2 customers, or my first 2 weeks of coming back. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing. It's my soul sings each and every time when I can do what I do, when I can help people, and when I can listen to them and really help them with sometimes just 1 sentence, sometimes 2 sentences. And you see their whole position change. You see their body language change, and all of a sudden they sit straight, shoulders to the back, and breathe and laugh and smile and even cry happy tears. Happy tears. I want to emphasize this. Happy tears.
I agree. Happy tears are good tears. Yeah.
And that is the magic that followed the emotions. A very turbulent, emotional, adventure, I guess you could call it.
Well, we can.
And finally submitting to what you really want, really, really, really want. Oh God, now I have the Spice Girls in my mind. That was not my intention to do so. I'm so sorry. Apologies to everyone.
Thank you for entertainment to Heike, because she did it. That was all on her.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I will jump here in. That's few moments where I do regret that we decided for podcast, not video, because watching you, sharing your experience, watching how you lit up when you talk about the whole going deep down and then re-emerging a bit, beautiful phoenix way.
Yeah.
It's just pure pleasure. And I'm confident that after that, you can even help people more because you experience the feeling.
Yes.
And exactly, you follow the emotion. You know how that feels. So why would you not, help others to do that?
Yeah.
You've been there. You've done that. And thank you for sharing the story, because it is a beautiful story about someone who is really amazing and creative and talented, but wasn't really listening what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. One of the things that changed completely is the viewpoints I have now. Many years ago, I first had to experience loss, for example. I knew about the mechanics. I knew about what goes hand in hand with it. And I knew what happens. So all the mechanics, all the technical stuff. But being in the position elevates so much more what you already know. And now being in this position that my soul has locked in its place, and I feel it spreading like an energy surge throughout my whole body. It's like spreading from my heart into my fingers, into my feet, into everything. It's like, I get totally giddy and have difficulties to suppress this because I usually express these emotions to the outside. And it's this giddiness, this feeling of, hell yeah, this is it.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly where I know how empowering it is, how energizing it is. And all of a sudden things work. And I mean, come on, 3 days for a website where I got 4 months on the old one. So it's like, okay. So that's how easy it can be when you come to terms with yourself.
I feel like leaving our listener. Ooh, I have no words. See, you left me speechless.
Yes.
I would leave everyone with this hell yeah feeling. Dwell about it, talk to it, try to find your wee spot in the soul, and come back for more.
Yes. Oh my God. That's perfect. Perfect ending.
Thank you very much for listening today. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.